Back here on TYTSports, a little past, present, and future. Who's the future?
You're looking at him.
Right here. So we have Ricky Strom on my left. Thanks for coming back. Those, by the way, I feel like we had to give more of a description because I think we've got a lot of new subscribers. Rick originally founded the channel, provided us our first 100,000, I believe.
100,000 subscribers.
And then we took it to the sky since then.
Jank founded the channel.
And then Rick saved it.
You don't work for him anymore. You don't
Jank
just suck
founded
up
the
to him
channel.
anymore.
And then Rick saved it from Jenk and Ben's deplorably boring 35-minute segments on why Ben lost a bet on the Cardinals versus the Steelers.
He still goes on these rants about bets. Brings it
Like,
into everything. It's the only way I could get the guy focused on the World Cup. Like we had to do a World Cup segment, the largest tournament in the world. I was like, he's like, do we have to talk about that? I was like, you can put bets on it, Ben. He's like, all right, I'm in.
Right.
I got it.
Ben is such a deplorable bettor that he once bet, I believe, on the Little League World Series.
All right, well, we posted out on Twitter to see what you guys wanted to ask us because we have another Q&A. We thought it was time to bring another one back. So let's roll through some of the questions and expect the good, bad, and the weird. Hit us with the first one. TYT Sports, would you rather be a famous TV anchor or a decent sixth man?
This is the easiest
in the
question
NBA?
that has
Of
ever
course
been
it's a
posed to
famous
human
TV
man.
anchor.
Really? I'm taking decent sixth man.
Francis is smiling ear to ear that you can't see his eyes.
I'm the
Am I the
famous
only one
TV
taking
anchor.
sixth man?
I'm taking six man.
Of course
okay.
I want to have a movie made about me, an Anchorman movie, because if you're a famous TV
You're
anchor,
telling
they're
me,
gonna make
you're
a
telling
movie
me,
about
could
it.
you be a famous TV anchor or be Jamal Crawford? I'm being Jamal Crawford.
You guys are such
Jackson.
sports
Jackson.
nerds.
Hard.
Like, I love sports, but it doesn't control my life the way
J.R.
it controls
Smith.
your guys' life.
You could be J.R. Smith.
You guys need to
You could be
experiment.
signing roughly a $15 million contract.
All right. Would you rather be Anchorman, like Will Ferrell Anchorman, or like the best six
That's
man?
what I'm saying.
That should be the
Anchorman was
bar.
based
Lower your
on a real
voice,
guy.
Ron. Lower your
Right.
voice.
So he was a famous TV anchor, and then a movie was made about him. Instantly, long-time famous. There's a guy that said San
What they-
Diego
they
is a
didn't-
whale's vagina.
In Scotland, it doesn't say. It says based on a true story for Anchorman. That's what they think happens in America.
But anyway, right? You guys are such sports nerds. Like you both live and breathe. I live and breathe sports. I love sports, but I if someone said to me, "Do you want to be in a movie like the next Fury and be starring alongside Shia LaBeouf and Brad Pitt, or do you want to be an outside man for Manchester United that never sees playing time?" I'm taking the movie.
Yeah, first of all, a sixth man is a very important role in the NBA, so you kind of just made it so you're like an outside. You're not a sub.
That was a shit analogy.
You're like
If you're a six man, you're not starting.
You're
coming
basically
off.
saying
you're
Manchester
starting-
United reserve
Are there
compared
six
to a
players
sixth
in the
man.
NBA?
No, but a lot of these six men of the year
I
play
just said you're
35
starting,
minutes a
but
game.
You're not a starter. You're not a starter.
Right, but you
Andre
got,
Iguodala?
you got
Play the game to sit in the bench, fellas.
Francis.
I don't play the game to sit in the bench.
Francis, you got to understand the benefits of being the sixth man. You get to play
I
against the other
understand
team's weaker players as well, so you already look better.
You get an award. You can get an
six men-
award.
You
And
guys
get
are
an
ranking
award.
yourself as
And
a
you
number
get
one
incentives in
sixth
your
man.
contract on winning that award.
The six-man award, I
Championships?
think, is one of the most backhanded compliments you can get. That's what I'm saying. Like, you're good. You're not good enough to start, though.
Some of the best players in the NBA were six men.
I know. I'm prodding the fire, and you guys are jumping into it. I know
I
how
think
much
that was
Jason.
poking the bear, not
I
prodding
know,
the fire.
whatever it is, but I know Jason loves Jamal Crawford. I know there's some great six men
I
out there.
love Jamal Crawford.
He's got the nastiest handles I've ever seen in person.
I don't know. Kyrie's pretty up there.
Oh, absolutely. I think Kyrie Irving is one of the best ball handlers in the NBA, but just go back and watch.
And he's not a six-man.
Like
so
Jamal
he's better.
Crawford's, like when he goes. First of all, Jamal Crawford's also a really great human being. Like extremely like charitable.
He's
I've gotten to
McDonald's
meet-
on game day.
Yes, I've gotten to meet him twice actually, and he's just like amazing with how he handles his hometown. Up in Seattle, like he always takes care of his like the pro-am tours. He goes up there, and then just watch any of the stuff he does over the summer, and it's unbelievable. Yeah, big fan.
Well,
Just
those
a
are your
good guy,
answers.
and
Give-
also he hasn't hit the gym ever.
Give kind of like Kevin Durant as well.
Got
What was this?
The thin arms.
What was the
Good.
thing on when you get drafted? You're supposed to be able to put up, is it like 145 or something like that in bench, and Kevin Durant couldn't do it apparently on his draft day, but who gives a shit?
Which goes to show you how much that
Durant,
means.
Durant
exactly.
turned out
No one
just.
cares.
He
Just
turned out
fine.
all right.
All right, so give Maxwell the TV anchor job and give these two guys the
Yeah,
sixth
you'll
man
be
award.
talking about
I'll
us
be talking about
for
you
your
guys.
job.
Yeah, very true. But then they'll make a movie about me, and I'll be the one laughing all the way to the bank. Next up, how do you guys choose what stories you talk about? Well, this is a very, very easy answer. Jason, you want to take it away? We asked the Pink Panther.
You go. That's a very easy answer, Jason. Do you want to answer this
You
question?
go into the complicated answer.
We go through like pretty much a discussion process. What we do is we look through like that afternoon. We'll start finding and looking through headlines, reading through many different stories. I use a bunch of aggregators like Feedly's. and Google News, Reddit, of course, and start aggregating what like the most talked about stories are. But then you also have to transfer that to like a digital market. So Reddit, I've always found that people have been saying this. Oh, Jason, you keep stealing things from Reddit. Guys, Reddit is what the internet talks about.
Right.
We are a show on the internet. And also, my favorite thing was some of those comments are my own comments in the Reddit threads that I use on the show.
That was a lot more.
That was a backhanded compliment.
That was a lot more complicated than I thought. I was simply going to say.
Well, I needed
we
to clear
pitch
the
and
air.
Dan chooses.
I needed to. Oh, right.
That's it.
Well, true. Everyone knows we have an executive producer too, so we sit down. We all pretty much talk about it either that afternoon on what stories are like extremely topical, need to get up and made into clips that day,
Right.
and what stuff can be saved for the weekend, like the 2K challenges, the FIFA things you see. We discuss those all week long, and we put them up on the weekend. So it's a standard. I think it's a standard process.
Right.
Is it different for you?
We have a 4 o'clock meeting, so we go over absolutely everything that everyone wants to talk about, and we fit it in to each and every show. So if there's one thing that really stands out to somebody, or they were thinking about on their drive-in that they heard was wrong or right, or they have a different aspect or a different unique perspective on it, then we just pitch it, and it's like, okay, let's put that into the B block or the D block or what.
Interesting.
Also, if you guys flood the comment section with like 500 comments, like where's this video, we usually take that into a lot of consideration too.
And we usually
which people were doing with the Jose Fernandez clip, which I did for Facebook, so you can also check that out over there.
We also have a quota that we usually hit. Like if we haven't had one Mia Khalifa clip where she talks about sports in like a few months, then we got to try and figure that and put it in somewhere. At least one Deflategate story to kind of talk about how
Tebow.
that's advancing
LeBron,
every month.
Rousey,
LeBron,
McGregor.
Yeah, Ronaldo,
Big
Messi.
names.
So that's your cheap clip?
That's it.
Maya Khalifa stuff?
We're
Maya.
capitalizing.
How
This
dare
is a trend that you started,
Maya.
brother. This is
The
a guy
Wags
that did more
clips.
WAG clips than anyone I've ever known.
Actually,
Yeah,
Rick's gift to me before he left was like 7 back pocket wags. He was like, if you ever need something that's just gonna hit, just here it is. Golf
no wags
wags,
clip. Did you use
hockey wags. Yeah, every single one.
Good man.
It did great.
All right, what's the next question?
I was like, well, I was trying to talk about boxing, and I did the wags clips, and those would get all the views. And Cenk was like, oh, seems like you're really adjusting really well.
All right, TYTSports, what will LeBron have to do to be considered the GOAT? I feel like we can all take a little time to answer in our own way. I'm going to make mine very short and very sweet. He will never be considered the GOAT. As much as anyone wants him to be, this is a guy, characteristically, he will never be. Even if he was to surpass Michael Jordan in rings, there's always going to be other factors that people are going to consider when it comes to LeBron James. Why? Because he's this character that everyone needs in the NBA, either love him or hate him.
Right.
But when it comes to Michael Jordan, even if LeBron James statistically, as I mentioned, will catch him, which I think he has a chance
He's
to.
going to pass him probably in almost every statistical category.
Yep.
I still
He
think
will,
that it's
actually.
just,
He stays healthy.
Maybe not percentage-wise.
he won't
but-
be considered the GOAT until, I'd say, around 10 or 15 years after.
Oh, so the
He-
new
I
think it
generation.
takes time.
It
So the
takes
new
time.
generation, when there's a new LeBron James,
Yeah,
a new
of course.
superstar,
And
they'll be like,
then they can
he's
start
not
ragging
LeBron.
on him. That's just the way it works. They can start ragging on Lionel Messi will not be considered better than Maradona until maybe 10 or 15 years after Lionel Messi retires.
Until a Messi
It's the
comes
way
along.
sports fan works.
So what's your criteria?
It
overall?
needs time. It won't. That's what my point is. He won't be considered the GOAT until the next LeBron James comes up and starts to challenge him. And it's like LeBron James is the best. This new guy can never be LeBron James.
It's really interesting. It's a fair assessment.
I would say-
You're a Jordan fan, obviously.
Of course.
So I'm curious.
But I appreciate the art that LeBron brings to each and every game that he competes in, really. What I would say is, unfortunately, we live in a society where we have these sort of discussions, and you got to cap a number on it. So I would say if he gets to 5 and he passes Michael in every statistical category, it still wouldn't be enough. In order to do that, he's going to try and have to get to 7. That is the lucky number. Is he going to do it? No, I don't think that he will. I think he's going to cap out at about 4 or 5, probably 5. If he gets to 6, then we could have a discussion. If he gets to 7, it's lights out, game over. He's going to pass Michael.
I think when we start to look at him at the end of his career, barring health, which it seems like he'll never get injured ever because he's LeBron James, but in 5, 6, 7 years, when the numbers start to look frightening, because right now they're on that track. Like for example, Kevin Garnett just retired. 25,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, 5,000 assists. It's him, Karl Malone, and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar as the only players in NBA history to ever do that. LeBron right now is at 26,000 points, roughly 7,000 assists, roughly 7,000 rebounds. He's going to shatter numbers. He's going to be in his own club statistically.
Right.
Now, if he doesn't win any more championships, of course it's tough to throw out that argument. However, the one thing I would say, and I'll leave it somewhere in the description box below, watch Nick Wright on Fox Sports when he was filling in for Coward again.
He's got some good stuff.
He has been great.
Some really
watch
strong
his
stuff.
opinions on penalizing, why do we penalize LeBron James for making it to the finals? Whereas Michael was 6 for 6 in the finals.
Right, and
but
never went to a game 7.
What about 1995? When Michael, this was his point, I'm literally paraphrasing his words.
Yeah,
It's like, did the NBA burn the tapes when he played in the 10 games and they lost to the Magic? It's like his whole point was it would be fine if he went to the finals 3 times and won those 3 times, but the other years, if he got knocked out in like the second round by a Celtics.
Yeah, it's
because it wasn't the finals.
Right.
That was the point he was making.
Yeah,
I just thought it was interesting.
I understand what he's saying. I slightly disagree, but I understand what he's saying.
And the type of people out there that are never going to give in to that, like you just mentioned, even if he does go past, unless he hits a certain number, then it's unavoidable. It's like the Charles Barkleys out there that are like, all right, Oscar Robertson averaged a triple-double for a full season. He's going to be my top 5. LeBron's never going to make it in there. That's what you're up against, because it's just unfortunate that you need to wait until a new era comes up. You have to wait until the next era comes before you start to really decide on which player you believe is going to go forward and be the all-time best. I think it is going to take a lot to beat a Michael Jordan, but even if he does beat him statistically, until, I believe, maybe a Ben Simmons goes on to potentially be the next LeBron James 10, 15 years from now. Or whatever, you need to wait till another generation.
You talking about me, Justice Winslow?
Then maybe.
Take over. Thank you for watching TYT Sports Question and Answer segment. We went to Twitter and comment sections and many other places, and we had so many damn good questions we needed to do 2 parts. So make sure to check out part 2.